Welcome along, we're here for round 9 of what promises to be a hopefully more interesting race than Australia, but you never know. It is Singapore, and as everyone knows, Singapore is the track prone to cause the most chaos. It's round 9 of Formula Aero, and yeah, my brain's not working today, so quiet boy, obviously you're driving on Wednesday. I can't because of obvious reasons. Have you done any practice around this track, and if so, what are your thoughts about why these drivers have been struggling?
Well, I have done a bit of practice around this track, and it's definitely not an easy track. You know, if you don't like Singapore, then you'll never really like it. It's a very hard track to successfully learn on. I mean, in terms of where you want to look out for, in terms of struggling, I mean, definitely the final sector can be quite tricky, especially for the curb. Like, if you don't get the curb right, you could hit the wall or track limits. So, yeah, it's definitely not an easy track, but whether these drivers have practiced a lot or not, I don't know, but I will assume the top leaders definitely have, especially because they need the points more.
Yeah, and obviously, being a street track, the wall's ever closing in on you. And these guys are good enough to avoid the walls, but there's things like that middle sector. You go through what used to be the Singapore sling section, what is now a very difficult section, as we've got a Haas. Very slow on pass. But it's our first lap of the evening. It's FaZe Monkey out in his V-carb, looking to come up strong again after a great performance in ULC on Thursday, winning for the first time in forever for him, and he's coming down now through turn 4, maximising that entry and leaving just a bit of margin on the exit. Doesn't want to hit the wall just yet. Maybe on his final lap, but he's going to come up to a hell of a lot of traffic. 26.8 through that first sector, but the car is looking nicely balanced. He's just flinging it from left to right to left around this circuit, and the car is just sticking with him through the long left-hander now and towards what used to be the Singapore sling. Who's going to hit that inside wall in qualifying? I've got my bets on Jack Newcastle, because he finally has a setup and he's not going to expect that rotation. Now over the Anderson Bridge and into the hairpin, down towards the end of sector 2, gets the power down nicely, and his car looking beautifully stable around here at the moment. Flicking his car right before straightening out towards what is, after 2023, a newly reprofiled long back straight down towards the final chicane, and now the biggest challenge on the track, at least for me, the final corner, because I swear to God, it's every 2 laps I spin there. But he crosses the line, FaZe Monkey, and the first time on the board is a 29.8, but Smurf illegal. Always one just to go that little bit better, goes just ahead, MH, P2, and already times extremely close around this track. Yari goes to the top though, and he has found a bit of a gap to the field. It's a 29.0, and his teammate just has no reply. It's a 30.6 from his teammate, and not even Bluefoot could respond to that lap. Bluefoot, known for being so strong in qualifying, couldn't respond to a 29.0. Yari looking on form tonight.
For sure, it's a very impressive time as well, and he set the tone there for what the standards will be for this qualifying session. Like, he put himself right up there, so he'll definitely be in contention for pole, I would say.
Yeah, and it's been a couple of weeks now, but Shano96 returning to racing. Very last minute he announced that he was being returned, and he didn't even announce it himself. I just got him at Leopold Shane is racing, which is just what I needed to really shake up the reserve grid. We do have a couple of reserves. MH is in the wall. He's on over the Anderson Bridge. He's hit the wall. I wonder if we can get on board with that second Red Bull on track and see his stranded car off to the right. He's probably hit that inside wall over the Anderson Bridge, and that's his qualifying done and dusted. He is not going to be happy with that whatsoever, and we'll see if he does have any comments coming up. But that is such a disappointment for McLaren. You know, obviously we've got Special One changed his name to the A team because he wasn't quite happy with everyone calling him Special. No surprise there. Lucas Spurs setting an invalid 41, which obviously means he's on some crack. But Real Gomez now, there is some expectation that he might find some pace this week, because there were rumours that he has bought a wheel. He's no longer on controller, he's using a wheel, and he's starting to really put some effort into his driving, which, I mean, there was a joke that went out about now he's a torpedo on the track. But, hey, you never know, he nearly torpedoed himself into the wall over the Anderson Bridge. But, gets it out the corner nicely, and he's just got to slowly build that confidence. It's very difficult adapting to some new controls. So I wouldn't be surprised if it takes him a few laps to put down some more competitive pace. I could tell you if I drove on a wheel, I would lose like 3 seconds. So if he's in like the 32s, he's probably good, but he hasn't validated. He'll be pulling into the pits. His lap is done. Hotshot Hippo's invalid. Real Gomez obviously just invalidated. Lucas Spurs went fastest in Sector 2, according to my screen. But you never know what my screen's on about. Hotshot Hippo is right behind him, and Jack Newcastle, the first driver out for a second run, probably abandoned that first lap to get out as quick as possible. It's a very difficult track to time the qualifying round, but Lucas Spurs is going to come across the line. And that lack of that ultimate qualifying pace still there for Lucas Spurs. Only P8 and only a 29.9, whereas rivals are doing 29.2, 4 and 6. I think he's definitely one of those that's struggling with its new appearance on the grid full time now with Williams. Had to miss last week because he was away. It's a 33.1 invalid, but he does seem to have the fuel and probably has a bit of battery left in the tank. Maybe looking to go again, but I think the real question that we'll have now, Yari, is if not Yari, Fireboy, is that Yari has done a 29.0 on his first lap around this track. How much faster can he go?
I think he can go definitely a bit faster. I mean, for a 29 flat's already good enough for his standards in this league, but for sure he can definitely go faster, I think. I mean, he probably wants to be more comfortable ahead of Blue Freeford, so I think he'll definitely want to go a bit more ahead. I think he's got it in him for sure.
Yeah, I can tell you, Yari's been experimenting with the old traction control setting recently. He's done a few races with traction control off, but for Singapore he said, this is too hard, I spin 3 times a lap. I'm going back on full just for today. Because he felt that even on full, despite being a bit slower, he has that pace to win around here. I'd had that belief in him, but when I watch Jack Newcastle, always a torpedo, and he's right in the section where I think he's going to hit a wall. So let's see. Well, he hit the outside wall, he pulled a George Russell. Pushing too hard. He's actually got wing damage. He's got front left wing damage. Fozzie's with ye old disconnection. I will invite him post haste if he is even still online. His entire connection's dropped apparently. So 105.5 middle sector, and Jack again in the wall. That's 3 times now he must have been in the wall this lap. So stupid driving, or he's just absolutely rapid and the setup can't handle him, because I can tell you the setup he is running is good enough to set, at least from what I've heard, a 27.5, and I will be seeing that when I does it, because I do not believe that is possible. I did a 27.9 before realising my controller wasn't quite working for F1 anymore. Now he crosses the middle sector split, though. It's 2/10 up on his previous time, on what is currently the provisional pole time. Smurf Illegal will be the first to cross the line for this set of runs, but there's no cigar for him now. The time is gone. So it's Yari, Alpine's brightest hope this season. It's a 28.7 from Yari Spams L2. And that is just what the doctor ordered for these guys. They need some pace instilled. Base Monkey has found a couple hundredths in Sector 1. Just looking to build up some pace around here. 29.8 is a respectable lap time, but we know this guy. He'll have some pace when he wants it, and this is his sort of track. It's tricky and technical, where he seems to do quite well on his day. And obviously Singapore, the most technical of them all, barring Monaco, where obviously it's a snooze fest, you can't overtake. Come on, give us some leeway. But he's not found the time in that middle sector, so that's him pretty much done for that lap. And a lot of people seemingly abandoning second runs. Fozzie's gets himself back into the session. I didn't invite him to. He did special ones 1.7 down, but I think he's just set that lap. 29.9, pretty respectable for him. And just looking to keep improving. Metal pulls into the pits. And Hotshot Hippo did show us purple. I don't think it quite is purple. His middle sector, but it's very good middle sector indeed. What can he do as he wraps up this lap though? So we come through the final corner, provided he can just keep it in a straight line, which obviously with the traction control it's P2!
Wow. Oh wow!
Hotshot
Very
Hippo
surprising
P2! I am seeing that lap. Gaffo crosses the line. He goes he goes behind.
Very surprising lap. It was out of nowhere. If anything, we didn't think that would happen, but he's
Hotshot
really
Hippo hasn't shown an ounce of pace in dry conditions this season, and he pulls out a 29.1. I am seeing that lap. Ex-Matty G fans will rejoice. Max can only go P4. Not much improvement from him. As I have messages, Fozzie's was asking for another invite. And John's boy being happy that I decided he has a qualifying ban for no reason. These are the power trips you see in Formula Aero, and I'm only really doing this because last time out he started pretty high up and just won the race, and he was pretty rapid the entire race. So we don't want to take points away from our title contenders who are 3rd, 4th, 5th and 10th, and I don't know who else ST put on those title contenders when making the TikToks, but those four are really the only ones. Whoever else he's saying is probably Narnia. Let's see, Shane crossed the middle. Oh my, Shane has not been wanting to drive this game. And I can see it in his pace, I can see it in how much margin he's leaving on the track. You know, he's come back for today's race. I don't think he's done any practice for Singapore, but yeah, into the pits he's coming. And Will Gomez's last lap was a 2:13. Just goes to show the level of insanity some of these drivers are showing. We got some 1 hour fuel. Rufus is out of fuel in the middle sector, and Max is out of fuel in the final sector. It's absolutely amazing. These guys don't know how to put enough laps of fuel in the tank. Will Gomez has done a 27.0 first sector. He's probably going to find some time. And we're going to hope so, because he's on what hopefully not a few lap old softs. And pretty new softs, because they do die around here. It's a very tricky track to manage your tyres on. Because especially for Will Gomez, they'll just overheat and he'll leak through them. But the lap's looking pretty neat and tidy. He just needs to be careful. The one exit is coming up now, out of that right-hander. It's very easy just to dip a wheel over track limits on the exit, but he's kept it very much within track limits, and now it should be easy for the rest of the lap, keeping track limits to the line. And if I was racing tomorrow, I would be clowned on for that line, because I know as well as I know that through this left-hander now, I cut the corner every time. And Will Gomez crossed the line. He puts a couple of guys behind him. It's respectable from him. Flitz was 9/10 up, but invalid. Still good from him. Base Monkey though. A couple of tenths in sector 1. Obviously this is his final run. I don't know what he has left. There is a lobby reset, but I'm not messaging back in the chat unless my phone is somewhere reachable. It is. Because if I stay tabbed out for too long, people will get annoyed that the stream is paused. Let's see, Phase Monkey, middle sector split. He is 3/10 up. Decent from him. Obviously, MH is going to be feeling the pain, mate, because you're absolutely going to be nowhere if even just the 4 guys behind you go faster. We don't have lobby resets. Well, we do have a lobby reset. We don't have grid penalties because no one had an incident worthy of a grid penalty. Across the line comes Phase Monkey, and he backs out.
Oh, very surprised. Didn't think he'd done anything wrong, but unless he thinks he can go faster and try one more time, but very interesting.
I mean, I would have still finished the lap though. You've took pretty much the whole lap's worth of tyres out of the car. But who is on a lap right now? Jack's on one, he's found a bit. I think the person I want to see here is Yari. He's already found the best. Oh, Smurf Illegal was on the lap. So 28.8 from Smurf Illegal. Still can't topple Yari. And Yari's found just a little bit in Sector 1. And he's invalidated. Oh no. That's not going to be great for the Alpine driver. But who else do we have on laps? Special One is going to get parked on the racing line by the Ferrari. Who is that? That's Shano. Disappointment for him. Fozzies has done a very good first sector. Now that I'm looking at it, he was right on top of what's his name's middle first sector, Yari's. So you never know. Special One retired from the session in the pit lane. Thank you, Special One. Everyone doesn't seem to realise you still have to retire in the pits in quali because otherwise you can block someone. But Fozzies is the first person I care about second lap because his first sector pace was fire, and he's found 8/10 now on his old lap. That put him deep inside this top 10. If he finds a little bit more, he's going to be threatening the likes of Yari, Smurf, Hotshot, Gaffo, Blue, and Max. So let's see. Where does he go? It's very committed on that exit, and now he's just got to fling the car through the left-hander, just keep it nicely, and he can only go P7. It's still a good lap. Smurf didn't make it to the line in time for another improvement. Hotshot down in the first sector. Where's Gaffo at? He's down at the end of his middle sector. Bluefoot has invalidated. Flitz has retired. So what is everyone going to be able to do? Gaffo, 400ths down. Why is Max? He's a 10th up at the end of the middle sector. This could go anyone's way at this point. Hotshot Hippo didn't find time for his first sector, but Peterbot goes fastest from nowhere. Gaffo finds a little bit more time coming to the end of his lap, but what can Max do? Somehow it's an Alpine 1-2 right now, and I'm sure Max really wants to get in the middle of that mess. Max, though, only 4th fastest. Hotshot Hippo is completely out of time. Phase Monkey is only a 10th down. What can he do? Lucas Spurs was a couple 10ths up. He's gone P8, and look at how the times have tumbled from the start of the session. We had people galore in the 30s, and now we have a couple in the 30s, and Phase Monkey. That's his qualifying done, and the last one on the track is a front wingless Jack Newcastle and a very depressed Hotshot Hippo. So that is qualifying done for now, and it is, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, it's an Alpine 1-2. Yari and Peterbot Hun, second and first respectively in qualifying, both of them just finding some sort of pace, and Jack Newcastle has crashed out of the session. But we so yeah, it's Pole for Alpine, second for Alpine. Then it's Smurf, Max, Gaffo, Hotshot, Bluefoot, Lucas, Fozzies, and MH are top 10. Face Monkey 11th, Metal 12th, Special 1 13th, Billy Wiz 14th, Real Gomez in 15th, Jack Newcastle 16th from Shano and Flitz. And then at the back, we will have Is That Me and John's Boy as our last two races. But we will be back, giving us a little bit for the race. And we are back live. Apparently someone's readied up early, despite the many pings saying at least wait until 43 to ready up. It is currently still 42. And if it doesn't flick over to 43, then someone's in the shits with the league owner. And it just flicks over to 43 as everyone loses control. But we are here for 5 red lights in Singapore. Under the lights, it's lights out. And away we go. The Alpines both getting a good start, but Jari looked to have got a better one. Down towards turn 1. Jari up the inside of his teammates. 3 wide in the background, and there is a Williams going bowling, and Bluefoot is very wide. And Lucas Spurs is in the wall in the background. Jack Newcastle probably starting on top, but Jari Spamsel too takes over the lead at the start. Jack Newcastle very slow off the line, like spun at turn 1. Lucas Spurs is just in the wall. Full wheel spinning, so fuck knows what's happened to him, but that might be a safety car in a little bit. I think he's just been disqualified from the session, don't know what happened there. But Jari is going to lead from his teammate in the background. Big mess. As there's a few cars inside each other, a few cars going around. It's 4 wide and ghosting through turn 7. How the hell has people survived that? But somehow, Andy, the A-team, the special one, whatever you want to call him, up to P10. And I can tell you, he is very much special. Why the hell is a safety car not deployed? Have I turned off the safety car by accident? I don't know if I can check that. I don't remember where to check that. Safety car is on, so somehow there isn't a safety car despite Lucas Spurs' retirement. Fozzie's in the background making a move over the Anderson Bridge on Flitz. Flitz with a poor qualifying. But at least we restart, and Jack on softs not feeling the best. But Flitz back up the inside of Fozzie's, and now Shano might be trying to take a look at Flitz as if to look at front at the gap. At the end of lap 1 as Fozzie's up the inside of Shano makes the move. Stick there. Jari getting away very strongly on the same tyre as his teammate. Max is going to take a look into turn 1 on Peterbot and takes P2 for now, but Jari has a 1.5 seconds out in front. And at a track like this, at a track where you just want clean air and to be able to drive however the hell you like, he has found 1.7 seconds over his entire competition. Gaffo now is going to be the next to try and line up a move on the Alpine, but the Alpine going very defensive very late. Further back, Fozzie's is lagging out of the session. What's new with that? And just looking all over the back of John's boy. Brought in after qualifying, serving a comedy qualifying, Ben, as I like to call it, because honestly, if he was out in front, I think Jari would be feeling a bit more pressure now. And now the question, who's going to get the first 3-second time penalty on here? A lot of opportunities to cut the corners. But what I am noticing is P2 to P12 is a massive DRS trim. And then Jari's just 1.8 seconds back off of the road, because why the hell not? Why wouldn't I just go 1.8 seconds up the road? I heard a Discord ping, which means something's broken. But Jari 1.8 in the lead. Smurf Illegal is right on the back of Bluefoot here. Lucas Spurs leaves the session after what he said in chat was, my fucking accelerator was somehow locked into place. I couldn't get off the accelerator. That is not ideal for one of the championship contenders, and the guy leading the championship going into this race, Fozzie's, losing some positions down, never mind. So Fozzie's is pulling a Gitarachi. And even better still, Fozzie's has pulled the first 3-second penalty of the race. Is Max on hards? No. Okay, do you know what? We've got a second. Tyre situation. While I don't see really anyone close enough for a move. Pretty much all mediums apart from Jack, who's on the softs. Special One, Phase Monkey, and John's Boy, all on the medium. On the hard side. So, not much variance in strategy, but I can tell you one person who's very happy with his strategy, and that is Jari. 2.6, 2.7 up the road. Oh, and Shano's hit the wall. He's got wing damage. And there's contact! John's boy sends Shano into the wall. Shano trying to give him the squeeze, and John's boy saying, fuck off, and sending him straight into the wall. That is exactly what I expected when John's boy was sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Max doesn't have wing damage. How is Jari so fast? Yari's 3. Is he on my Am I on his account? No, because I'm not a PlayStation. Who's a fast PlayStation? Has Andrew logged on? Is Andrew on PlayStation?
Don't think.
Was Viper on PlayStation or was he Xbox?
He's Xbox, I think.
I'm trying to think who's a good PlayStation driver because I don't see Yari being 3.3 seconds out in lead. I mean, I'm proud of you, mate. But fucking hell, make the race a bit more interesting for me, will you? He's pulled 3.5 seconds on the entire grid. As now Max is going to be feeling a little bit of pressure, Peterbot right behind him, but you know, it's Singapore. There's a DRS train. The only person who does stand a chance of making a move is John's boy. On that hard compound tyre, up the inside of Flitz. There's a little bit of wheel banging and Flitz is a little bit off the track, but he's going to stick with him.
No.
Up the inside, there is... How are they not in the wall? Fozzie's has spun round, unless he's just lagged back, and I think he just reset the track. Which I am sure someone is going to whinge about in a ticket later, despite it really not changing the outcome of the race. But Flitz is all over John's boy.
Wow.
As someone we
Nice
wouldn't expect to be putting... Oh, Flitz in the wall.
Is...
Yeah, but as someone we didn't expect to be right on the back of someone who is so much faster, the guy that won the race in Australia. Which is why we didn't want him to screw with the title and why we put him down dead last on the grid. But Flitz is just kind of following, sticking with him. And obviously the ultimate pace isn't there, but sticking to him, he's keeping him honest. And it's a very good little performance at the start of this race. It's just how much does he have to take out of his tyres to keep this little charade up. 4.3 the gap from John's boy to Billy Wiz as Phil Gomez is the second joiner of the club, and yeah, I'm not even gonna click P1. Christ.
4 seconds, wow.
Yari, whatever you're doing, mate, for Singapore, can you just do it for every race? I've been trying to get you fast for so long, and all of a sudden you found 4 seconds. And one of the guys in the title hunt, I just see him driving through the next corner as Max is coming through turn 7. This is some great stuff. Lucas Spurs has diagnosed his throttle issue, which is great for us to hear as there was some contact with a wall in that section, but Lucas Spurs swapped his controller so it didn't die and cut his audio mid-race, and apparently he'd had his controller in a way that has kept the throttle fully pressed. This DRS train from P2 is still down to P12. So very persistent in the fact they want to be in a DRS train. And then Yari's like, yeah mate, you guys enjoy your DRS train. I'm going to have clean air. I'm going to have all the battery in the world. I'm going to be able to play around. Let's see what his battery's until 30%. You know, that's respectable around here. Oh, and there's a spinner. It's Smurfle Eagles around. He is out of the DRS train now. It's only now a 10-man DRS train. Only a 10-man DRS train. The Smurfle Eagle gets back up to speed, I'm sure, in absolutely no time. Knowing the calibre of this driver, he'll be back on it. And actually, the DRS train has broken up. I think it was an incident with Hotshot Hippo because Hotshot's dropped off the back now of that DRS train. It's now a 2-second gap up towards Gaffo. Is that me? 3-second time penalty. Everyone with a time penalty isn't in the points, so who gives a damn about time penalties? MH right on the back of Hotshot Hippo, and he is trying to take a look on this guy. Gaffo gets past Peterbot, who looks to have made a mistake, and I think it might have been contact with Max, as Gaffo now into P2, but the gap in front is 5.5 seconds. Gaffo's not even on hards. It's not like there's going to be a tyre switchover at any point. You know, I think Gaffo needs like a 2-lap undercut on Yari at this point, and Yari, if you're watching the stream, just make sure that if one of these guys behind the boxes, you don't give them like 2 laps currently. I think in a moment... Oh, there's contact and Peterbot's in the wall. He takes a warning on entry, then hits the wall. I think he's just tried to go for a very late dive bomb, and it's not worked out for him. Everything falling apart behind the leader, who just kind of driving off to nowhere. And Peter Bot with a lot of understeer. Now he's hit the wall again. That's a hot shot through. And MH is going to go by. Metal's going to go by. And yeah, this is not turning into the race for the pole sitter. You know, he put down such an incredible lap for pole as there is a big Fozzie's. Oh no. So yeah, Fozzie's going for a little spin. And Yari's just kind of there. He's just like, hi fellas, phase monkey up the inside of Blueford. That actually was like a really good move, but he just couldn't get it stopped in time. What we saw, so good effort, phase monkey. What is one of the more difficult overtaking venues we've been to this season? I think, I don't know about you, White Boy, but I feel like even Zandvoort was a bit easier than this.
Yeah, no, Zandvoort was way easier than this. Safety car.
Safety car! Box, it's going to be the biggest train of into the pits we must go that I have ever seen. And I am looking forward to that. Peter Bot's out as well. What's happened to him? On board with Blitz trying to look for where Peter Bot is. He's pulled over on the right hand side. Has he been sent into the wall? No, he's just retired on track. Interesting. So Fozzie's, and let me pull out my notes out here because Fozzie's has caused a safety car. Oh no! You had a 7-second lead. Just pin. Even if they don't pin, you still flip suspended.
Oh no.
I'm
Very
fine.
surprised Raider has stayed out.
Hey, fuck off, quiet boy. It's a safety car. You got 7 lap on mediums. I know they do 19 laps around here, but no! You got a guy on such better hards behind you, but is that me staying out? To be fair, is that me staying out isn't the worst call in the world. He needs to find something to bring this race back. Fair dues. Yari was leading. Had a free stop onto hards. And you know, let me just run the numbers real quick. And by run the numbers, I mean pull up one piece of information. Okay, so I've run the numbers stream. It's exact. Oh, actually, you know what? Yari might have actually just fucking nailed it. We'll see how much time it loses, but he might have just nailed it. Right, Yari, I don't want you pitting. Stay out. Good. Okay. Right, I've run the numbers. Yari might have pulled a master plate in. Because I don't know who's going to be able to get hard to the end, and Yari will be right towards the end. He's pulling at me, but he's learning from a guy that knows how to do this. And typically I'm doing this when I'm on hards, not on mediums. But I'm not the idiot here, okay? I'm not the fucker racing the race here, so you know, we'll wait. We've got the black screen is crazy from Max Owen, and a lot of black screen W's. Because the reason we had a black screen as our whole screen is because I may or may not have accidentally deleted the media file like half a week ago. Oh, I think I've just lagged everyone. That's not ideal. I'd moved my window slightly so I could see it, and I think I just lagged some people. Any overtakes under that safety car will not be investigated if it's because I lagged the game. I just saw people swapping positions. I don't know if you did too, probably.
Yeah, I did see a bit of that, but I mean, I felt all over the place, but
Right, so state of the race. Quiet boys out on what are going to become 9-lap-old mediums. I'm not the most annoyed at that decision. Followed by Phase Monkey on similarly aged hards, followed by Is That Me on similarly aged. Has he pulled a master stroke here? Do you remember Zandvoort? Do you remember how I moulded at him for staying out there? And it was actually the perfect call. And now I've looked at the wear on the mediums and the hards and said, you know what, this could be the play. I think Gary nailed this call here. He's got two guys behind him. I think, obviously, Phase Monkey on a hard, it's going to be very hard to get the hards into a proper window, especially around here under a safety car. I think Gary just needs to pull the Mugello 2020 race restart and just nail it. I think Is That Me and Phase Monkey have enough talent between them to probably hold Grapple up 5 or 6 seconds. And let me run the numbers again real quick. Pit loss time is 25 seconds. So I'm still not sure whether this was the right call or not, because Yari, I'm sure, has another set of mediums he could have gone to. You know, it's very likely, considering the nature of the track, that having no safety car. But, you know, if that safety car comes in 7 laps' time, Yari's screwed. He's going to have box for it. So I'm not sure whether this was the right call. It'd be a very clean race from here. Unfortunately, Jack Newcastle's 43 seconds off the back of the pack. I'm going to really quickly change the game code so the safety car just comes in anyways. Jack's not catching for another 2 laps, knowing his pace. And Jack, I know you're probably watching this. Your pace is that shit that you wouldn't catch a 40-second gap under safety car conditions in 2 laps. And yes, I'm throwing shade at you, so I stop throwing insults at Yari for staying out on worn mediums. But what are your thoughts on the race so far, Clive? Well, because mine it was dominated, and then the dominator fucked it up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Yari did kind of just fly off into the distance, and then, well, if the start came out, probably shouldn't have. So, I mean, well, what would have happened if it didn't? Well, he probably would have been flying ahead still, but, I mean, I think he just needs to pull away and hope that basically Phase Monkey just doesn't.
I just remembered that Gary hasn't been an F1 fan for long enough to know what the Mugello 2020 restart was. Pretty much drive as slow as your Nan does on the M53 and then boot him. Because they were probably driving about 50 miles an hour on that day. And I'm sure your Nan probably drives slower than that down the M53. At least that's what my dad says, that older people drive like shit on motorways. But he also has a lot of very strong opinions. But he is doing some slow work here. And when is he going to drop the hammer? Across the safety car line 1, he's dropped it through the final corner. And he has done a great restart. Phase Monkey with no response to what Yari could do. But now, how is this tyre delta going to play out between everyone behind? Flitz picks up a 3-second time penalty and is dropping a little bit downfield. But Yari gets away quite nicely now. It's just how long can he hold on to this? You know what? I'm going to run the numbers in a minute. But Gaffo already on the charge. He's side by side with Is That Me. He has wing damage on that right front. He needs to be careful on the outside, otherwise he's going to be punted into Narnia. But Gaffo, the ever-experienced old head that he is, doing very well there. If Yari can extend long enough, I've just realised Yari can do a soft at the end. It's possible. Max gets past Is That Me with wing damage and an absolute crap car. And Hotshot Hippo's now got double wing damage. This is beautiful, and he hits the wall again. He hits the curb over the end of the bridge and hits the wall again. There's someone going around the outside. That's Smurf illegal on Metal Medic. Beautiful effort there, but nothing will come of that. But John's boy now gets a double overtake down the straight. That is a great move from John's boy. And now the Mercedes really looking to scrap it out in the background. It's 2 by 2 by 2 through that right hander. And John's boy, though, taking back over P9 and starting maybe what could be a charge. Yari, after 1 lap, has nearly pulled his second again to FaZe Monkey. It's how long can he do that for? It's Is That Me and Hotshot Hippo, two guys with wing damage, wheel to wheel into the final corner, and that is the freest overtake that I've ever seen. Here comes John's boy, gets past the both of them into turn one. I don't know if there was some laggy contact there because, you know, there was a bit of a slide and a hit from Hotshot Hippo, but Smurf Illegal clears Is That Me, who has wing damage. Metal Medal is going to be jonesing harder than a crack addict to get past the other one. Gaffo clearing FaZe Monkey, and now Yari's going to be feeling the pressure because he has a guy on much newer tyres. The question is, does Yari know the Leopold way? But the Leopold way also depended on a 3-second gap before all this happened, so you never know. Max and MH swapping positions, and FaZe Monkey in that bunch as well. Max is trying to go for a switch back onto the Anderson Bridge. Max is going up the inside, there's no room there, he hits John's boy, and they're just battling it out here. Bluefoot leaves the session. Bluefoot has disconnected. I don't know if you have him on PS quite well, but if you do, that would be a nice invite back. John's boy in the back on him. As Metal Medal and Smurf Illegal are in the wall, and Metal Medal gets a 10-second time penalty for that. And now, the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Newcastle, has an opportunity to make an overtake this race. Yari has dropped behind Gaffo and now is under pressure. Smurf Illegal is out of the session. Metal Medal's in the wall with him, and it's a full safety. Yari, box for hard, and that is an easy go to the end for Yari. It is so easy. Yari, you know you're on shit tires. He's going to come out last no matter what at this point, or pretty much last. Smurf Illegal, in his last race in Formula Aero, is likely to be receiving a race ban because I now need to put him on the notes for a retirement on track. What is happening in this race? Smurf Illegal, what the fuck moments are going in decision making, and I'm sure SD will be right on that for me, because he can seal that. If he wants to join the call and talk to us about what he's seen this race, if he has been watching, that would be beautiful while we're under safety car conditions. That was a nice screen flicker. Thank you. I hadn't booted into Windows for like 5 days, and all of a sudden nothing is working properly for me. But Gaffo, I'm not sure what he'd want to do here. If he's brought that second hard, it's worth boxing. If he's not, it's very much not, because the medium is tight to the end from him. Who else do we have? MH should definitely box. His mediums might make it to the end, but hard will be a lot more solid of a tyre. Max, it's again if he has that double. John's boy needs to box. FaZe Monkey and Bluefoot can stay out. Is That Me surely boxes. Hotshot Hippo just has to box. As we see drivers pulling into the pits, and they will go to make their pit stop. Gaffo does stay out, so Is That Me under no pressure takes a 10-second time penalty, because, you know, it's Formula Aero. When don't you see 10-second time penalties under no pressure on a safety car? Right, so Jack Newcastle also pulls in the pits. This means Yari is guaranteed to come out P9. Oh no. Yari's coming out behind Real Gomez.
Oh no.
A tragedy in the Alpine camp as one of them has retired on track. The other is going to be right behind Real Gomez with a damaged front wing. But Yari could be in a pretty strong position here to win this race. But he is going to have to drive that first stint, but better, and manage to make a move. It's going to be about 1 every 2 laps once the safety car's in. Probably 1 a lap. But it's easily possible. A lot of the guys in front of him, the 18 Billy Wiz and Real Gomez, those guys I don't think pose him any threat. Apart from Real Gomez being a torpedo, now he's on a wheel. But I think our big threats for him, Bluefoot is an absolute monster. John's boy, well, we've seen him pump people off track. Max, is a great defensive driver and a great driver in general. MH always has that potential to put on a race win. And then Gaffo, he's commanding the field, and we've seen him just dominate when he's commanded a field. Just be put under pretty much no pressure for an entire race. It'll be interesting to see. It will be, I'm guessing, 16 to go, maybe 15. It'll be 15 to go when we go racing again, since the safety car's not already coming in. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm hoping, now that we've not actually gotten rid of any of the people I thought would have caused the safety car. How in God's name is it Smurf illegal causing the safety car? Peter Block, Fozzies and Lucas Spurs. Well, Lucas Spurs didn't. He had issues. But, you know, we would have thought the likes of Real Gomez. We haven't seen Blitz, so I don't blame him. He's actually in quite a good position. But, you know, Jack Newcastle and Billy Wiz, maybe Real Gomez as well. But those are the three you'd think, oh yeah, that could cause a safety car. Hotshot Hippo. But no. Safety cars have been caused by Smurf illegal, Peterbot Fozzies. This is not what we expect in Formula Aero, as Hotshot Hippo goes for a move under the safety car on Phase Monkey. Can't seem to make it work. Don't know how that's going to work. The game will give you like a 10-second time penalty and then still force you to give the position back. With those sorts of moves. But life is going to be pretty great in this race now for Gaffo. He's got MH behind him on mediums, pose a bit of a threat for about 5 laps. And then those mediums will just die. You know, they're never the race tyre in this game. It's always been the hard is the better tyre. Qatar is the best example of that, because you can drive an entire stint doing lap times within a second of each other and set the fastest lap on your final lap of a stint.
Yeah.
Hard, but no, it does depend on the track. You know, I haven't done any running before what the compound are. We'll have to see. The safety car's still not committed to coming in at the end of this lap.
Yeah, and he's not getting all shot at bro.
Yeah,
we're still swapping position.
Another duel under safety car. And the safety car will not be in this lap. So it will only be 14 to go when we go racing. And that does add a little spice to it. But also, the more this safety car stays out, the better it is. For the likes of those on the mediums, let's just pull up some tyres real quick. It's going to be tight for John's boy, MH, and Andy. It's
yeah,
doable.
on the 8-lap mediums.
It's doable, but it's going to be tight. According to the numbers, which I can confirm for at least one track have been very true to my ability, but also I can absolutely murder a set of tyres if I want to. The mediums can do 19 laps of racing conditions. But that is a very extreme limit. Obviously, I've seen some people go over the data before. But, you know, that's when we've had Pickle Alex racing. And he can pull out a race. He can pull out a tyre management. What did he do in URC Imola? Like 20 odd laps or something on a medium. I expected that. I wasn't even looking. I kind of expected that would be a 10-second time penalty for Phase Monkey if he doesn't box again, which he probably doesn't need to. Depending on what happened, which I'm assuming Phase has wing damage now. Actually, wasn't Phase Monkey in front?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He was in front side of the road where Hotshot Hippo pulled the glitch and got in head to give him a back.
No! Well, that's something to investigate. Oh, there's Hotshot.
Oh, no, he's him in the wall.
Oh, no. He's put him in the wall!
Well, they definitely collide now. Phase Monkey's trying to fork.
Okay, this is gonna be... Wow, investigations fucking galore for me. Thank you, everyone on track. Safety car is in there. Finally. And Gaffer will control the field. His tyres are a nice, warm 57 degrees. You could drink a cup of tea at that temperature. It's going to be the Hotshot Phase safety car battle. Going into the notepad. aka the decision-making chair. And Gaffo's pinned him! And then off goes MH to restart the race as Gaffo's in the wall.
Oh my god, the gap between the field already from that restart as well.
Oh, field spread is beautiful. Max around the outside of turn 1 on cold hards just somehow makes it work. Will Gomez picks up 3-second time penalty. John's boy now is really on the charge. He wants this race win and he wants it badly. He's trying to look around the outside and he does hang it there on MH. But can't quite make anything stick, but he's got that slipstream. His car has looked slipperier than anyone else's on a straight. He's going down the inside, maybe a little bit of contact there, nothing too major though. And this is allowed Andy as Bluefoot's rammed John's boy, and John's boy has lost half his... No, he's not lost half his wing, it looked like that from a mile away. But John's boy in the wall. And the walls are beginning. Will Gomez has dropped down, so that means Yari is actually safe. But Yari's getting dove by Flitz! And Flitz has forced him off the track, and here comes Shano now, battling to get points on his return in Formula Aero. He's wheel to wheel with my favourite driver right now, and he gets the move stuck. Shano, why did I ever think of dropping you in URC, honestly? You're just beating the guy I paid like 35 million for. Down the inside goes FaZe Monkey as well. Yari's dropping away on this lap. But I'm looking at his tyres. They are still a bit cold. So this race might just still come to him. But battles galore and Gaffo is nowhere, and Gaffo is probably coming into the pits at the end of this lap. And I don't want to say it, but I think he might be pressing the old button in the menus. As special on Andy, what can he do? He had some pace when we saw him in his anvil. It looked like he could do something. Just Yari gets back past FaZe Monkey. There's a spinning Shano. Ferrari, even more in the mud. Ferrari looking worse this race than they have in pre-season, saying that their car wasn't ready for 2026. You know, Hotshot Hippo now on Billy, we're surely going for a move, but MH out in front is wheel to wheel and off the track, forced wide by Max. They're still going to stay side by side though, through this complex. Going, how the hell are they sticking wheel to wheel? Put in the wall twice. The damage didn't happen though, but Bluefoot now with a chance to look down the inside. He tries, but MH around he goes, and they're in the wall, and that's more damage. And John's boy gets back up to third, and Max has got a 2-second lead down front because of all of this. And now, who's going to be able to find a little gap in this part of the track to make a move? Billy Wiz surely wants to find one. He needs to score some points in this race, because I'm sure he's not scored many points. I've not actually checked the standings before this race, even though I do them myself every week. Melton Melton gets past Will Gomez. FaZe Monkey trying to go for it on Yari, but Yari just hangs it round him. That looked fair from Yari. Yari was in the fucking wall, for Christ's sake. If that wasn't fair, I don't know what is. But Yari now on the back of Flitz. He needs to get past Flitz here and get up to this front group, because they are literally killing themselves out in front to get whatever positions they can. And it's now all really down to Yari to try and make his way through. Obviously, Flitz should be easy. Flitz, okay, that is... What in God's... Flitz, I thought you were good. You just cut that corner. You cut that corner to all crap. He is that scared of losing a position to an Alpine, as I just heard someone crunch in the wall. Here goes John's boy on MH down the inside. They're wheel to wheel, and this is gonna be tears. Shano's in the wall, and it's a safety car.
Oh my word!
Thank you, Shano. You're not getting investigated for that, mate, because quite clearly he got put in the wall by Gaffo. Okay, that's the leading theory. He got put in the wall by Gaffo. Gaffo's the league owner. I can't penalise the league owner. Simple as that. And drive through penalty for Flitz. That's ideal. Let's see him try and serve this under the safety car.
Well, I think we can definitely say this race has been way more entertaining than the last one, but...
Yeah, I can tell you Shane had the tie fan in the chat from me, because he has just gone for something on someone. FaZe Monkey Metal Metal now having a safety car battle. Is that me? How is that me got a penalty for contact with Phase Monkey? He's 2 places back. This is like in Formula Aero, you don't know what's going to happen. Now, surely, John's boy definitely pitting. It's questionable if Max will, but we'll see. He's darting into the pits. John's boy in, MH in. Now, Gary, you stay out. I mean, a medium can go to the end, but no, he's going to box. Okay, he's taking the safer play. I would have liked to see him stay out and risk it. Billy Wiz, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Obviously, some people still have that's a 60k an hour pit lane around this specific circuit. But who has stayed out? That is the question. And it's Blitz, who is going to have to serve a drive-through anyway.
Jack Newcastle in 4th. Let's get entertaining now.
Yeah, so the 2 kicks, 3rd and 4th. And I just want to see the front of Is That Me's car real quick. And yeah, no, I'm not right. No, Is That Me actually has a full front wing. I thought they had opposing wing damage.
Jack has a full front wing?
Jack does not.
Yes,
he's missing his front right end. So I thought for a second that the 2 kicks had opposing wing damage, which was going to be interesting. But, so the tyre question is a question that Jack's pit 5 times before. Okay. See something new every day in Formula Aero. Hotshot Hippo was pitted. He's pitted onto... Did he pit?
He did pit? Or did he serve a pound? Oh, I don't know what he done.
It's time to go and check the race director. He pitted onto 6 lap old hards.
Huh.
Okay.
I mean, he'll get to the end, but 6 laps.
Heat cycle galore, mate. That's probably like 20% more. Actually, it's Hotshot Hippo. It's 50% more.
Yeah. I must admit, though, I probably would have loved to have seen Yarish there. I don't know if it was the right choice in this situation, more because of who's actually in front of him. But, and also, how many safety cars have we had? 2, 3 now?
It's the 3rd safety car now. But I just want to say, Yaro pitted on lap 13, so it's only like 5 laps of racing.
Yeah, so what would have gone?
Already a Gunners. The only question is, how are those behind going to fare on their fresher tyres? I think Max is going to be able to absolutely send it to the end around here. I don't think you're taking 6% on that. Max would need to take like 8% on that out of his medium for it not to be viable. So, I don't see much. Bluefoot pulls into the pits. I'm sure he just wants to take the biggest advantage he can, also known as boxing for a fresh tyre under a safety car. Metal with the disconnection. Okay, that is time to get on the levels of shit. Get everyone live. Try and get him back into the session. What's that for the session? Oh, it was Shane. And Shane is...
I find it very interesting because Splits, I forgot, has the drive-through, so he should serve that left lap, ideally. But will he?
So the question is on the safety car restart, because he leads the field, I don't know if he can serve it. Because he's leading the field. I'm not sure if he can, I think. So obviously under safety car, his 3 laps for serving it on pause. Because you're not allowed to serve under a safety car. So whether he can instantly dart into the pits and serve it, or whether he has to wait a lap. I'd like to see him wait. Why is that me inside of Metal Metal? Is that me? Stop trying to glitch yourself in place, you'll get a penalty. Tell me if the safety car's on and I'm trying to re-invite.
Yeah, it is in the flat.
Oh great, I've just invited him, bloody fucking let me tell him I didn't mean to invite him. Where's the call?
Oh, is that? Oh, he's back in. No, back in. Thank God for that.
5 invites. One of them surely had to work. Blitz and
Metal Metal's AI. It's got in the lead.
It's just overtook Blitz. That is great to see. But it's a 59 level AI, so I don't really see how this is going to cause him any problems. Wait, but Metal.
He's going in the pits.
AI's pulling into the pits! Oh no! When Blitz takes back the reins and Jack Lucas Is that me battling it out? Metal say hi as pit for him. Into turn 1, Max is already leading the race. Okay. And John's boy makes contact with Jack. He's probably about to get in that P2. Here comes M8. Is he going to take that P3? Not yet. Gary now has to charge. He's ahead of Gaffo, but he's got 2 very scrappy guys ahead of him. In whatever his name is, Andy and Billy Whiz. Gaffo is going to take a look on Yari though, but he doesn't make anything stick. There's a kick off in the Narnia, and there's contact. They're 3 wide, and Yari's going to gain 2 places. That is beautiful, 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 beautiful. Hotshot Hippo's going to try and put him in a wall. Hotshot Hippo is going to put him in a wall. Why am I not surprised about that?
Going for it.
And here comes Billy Whiz going on Yari, but he's also trying it on Gaffo. Yari's dropping down the field. There's a few position swaps. Andy's off! Andy's backwards! This race is turning into absolute shambles. It's the Shamrock Shambles special right now. Apart from the commentary being better. Is that me who's going to try and move on Hotshot Hippo up the inside? He's going to make it work temporarily, but you know, 6 lap old cards are better than whatever lap old cards is that means are. And that should be free now for Gaffo to get a move up the inside. That's free. FaZe Monkey trying it on Billy Whiz. They're going to go wheel to wheel through these final couple of corners, and that is a great move from FaZe Monkey. Max picks up a 3-second time penalty in the lead. But Max is also actually going for it on Blitz into turn 1. He's took a really tight line. There's a bit of contact. MH has nearly been sent round. And that's going to open up the door for John's boy, but he's gone the wrong way. He's tried to go on the outside. You can't go on the outside there, mate. Trust me, I've tried. I've not intentionally tried. I've been locking up into that corner, just 10 miles wide. I've only ever done qualifying. Real Gomez and Bluefoot trying to go at it. That's never going to work. Here comes M8. Surely just freest dive bomb of your life on Flitz. And yeah, because Flitz goes 20 miles wide. Jack Newcastle and Hotshot are battling it out. Gaffo, I see the lift. Oh, a bit of contact up ahead. Gaffo did a beautiful little lift there as Yari is up to P10. Gaffo is actually really getting held by these guys right now. You know, not much else going on. What happens if you don't serve a drive-through?
They just take each other out. No, Flitz and John's boys take each other out.
And it's a full safety car! It's another full safety car. Safety car.
Well, I don't think
Jack Newcastle on the safety car. Fitz is probably going to be investigated after the second.
Oh no, Flitz needs a ban. Not again. No.
He's got a second drive-through penalty. Speeding up the safety car. He's done it on the last 2. But now, here's the really important question, Whiteboard. Who pits for softs?
I think
we will see. Max stays out. MH stays out, but he looked at it. Flitz is surely coming in.
Stays out.
He's missing his entire wing. Hotshot stays out. Gaffo, obviously.
They're all staying out, aren't they?
No,
seems like
surely someone boxes.
No,
Gomez isn't making it interesting for us. Yes, ST. Jack is somehow fucking P4. So do you know what? That is a beautiful timing, ST. Let's take a look at the penalty situation. So Max with a 3-second time penalty as it stands. MH is clean. Flitz has a 10-second time penalty and 2 drive-through penalties, and I think there's a couple 3 seconds under those as well. Metal pulls into the pits. Thank you for making the pit lane not dead. Then it's Cleanbot somehow, Hotshot Hippo, and then Gaffo. 3 seconds for FaZe Monkey, 13 for Is That Me. Clean for Yari, 13 for Billy Wood, 3 for 18. Special one, Andy. I keep forgetting your fucking name. 6 for Will Gomez, and Metal in last on a
first off. So someone did gamble. Someone.
I mean, look. He is nowhere in this race, as it stands. Why not?
I see his AI box. Well.
Yeah, ST, you will be, and I'll be holding a gun to your head for it.
Yeah, I don't think I definitely do not think Flitz should definitely be in this race still. I mean, watching him take out John's boy was something else.
Wait, Blitz already has his first drive.
Yeah, he's got another one.
No, hold on. I need to ask Google a question here.
4 safety cars we've had this race.
So, in the F1 25 game, failing to serve a drive-through penalty within the mandatory window results in disqualification.
Oh, he's in now. Now he's in with a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag.
You don't serve your drive-through on the safety car. The pit stop's coming out. He's going to just be pitting.
Oh dear.
So a 10-second penalty going to be served for Flitz. We are going to watch this entire 10-second time penalty and his pit stop and his front wing replacement because we're that good on this stream. The issue is, right, he's boxed onto fresh softs. It's not like they're going to be useful. The hardest corner on tyres on this track is that final one. He's got to take it at reduced speed twice because he's still got 2 drive-throughs to serve. But the question is, does he do that without getting disqualified? Because the game might just blank. And this is his first race driving for Williams. FaZe Monkey's hit Gaffo and got 10 seconds. Good job, FaZe. He's missing some wing, I think. Is he missing both end plates?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is. No.
Yeah, he's lost.
He's missing one.
Yeah,
he's
one.
Missing his left one, but the whole field behind checked up. Yari actually in a beautiful position right now. He just needs to kind of drive on.
Past.
The only issue is he's on a hard. The tyres are probably pretty leveled out at this point. You know, Max is going to have no issues. Gaffo's going to have no issues. Yeah, everyone's kind of going to have no issues. It's going to be quite easy to get past Jack's hot shot. And does that mean desperately needs to overtake? And FaZe Monkey, I might go a bribe in the drive there to give Yari the overtake. But it's P8 for him currently. I think he's demonstrated that he's been a bit fucked out of our position as well. You know. I think.
Don't want to mess that. Oh, it is? That's very late.
Cool for the safety car dropping away into the pit lane. The field is going to check up. And look at Max, the slowest weave we've ever seen. I think sub 30 mile an hour weaving from the V-carb driver who launches the car out the final corner. It's not the best restart though. Yari certainly had a better one before. And look at MH. He's under pressure from the legend Jack Newcastle, who's up the inside. He makes the move stick. Hotshot Hippo sticking past Gaffo as well. Yari's 1-2 is over to that me. That is a beautiful from him. Metal getting past Flitz, or they're just having a little scrap. I don't know. But Gaffo now trying to keep looking at Hotshot Hippo as Max has already pulled a second. Jack Newcastle. There goes Gaffo past Hotshot Hippo. He just needs to be able to outbrake him and hang around the outside, provided Hotshot doesn't force him off the track. FaZe Monkey up the inside of Hotshot Hippo, trying to make up as many places as he can. Looked like a little dive bomb in the background. Is that me? Has been spun round. It looks like that might have been contact off the back of Yari. Not the best move from him. A few taps on the wall, and I think that is that me again. Just losing out harder and harder here. Yeah, I can't believe what I'm seeing either, ST. Jack Newcastle is in P2. As it stands, MH is going to try and look up the inside. Jack, put him in the wall. Do whatever you want right now, baby. You're in P2. But more crucially, this is just giving Max the win. I think that's very interesting. FaZe Monkey is going to be trying to take a look on Hotshot Hippo. Nothing coming for him, but a lot of understeer for Yari behind. Struggles maybe for the Alpine. Andy gets a 3-second time penalty. He's 10th anyway. Good job, mate. This has been a chaotic race. It's about survival, and clearly one of them has survived very well this race to be in P2. But there's still laps to go in this race. This is what counts. Yari gets past FaZe Monkey. He's up to P6 now. He needs to keep that position. He is up the inside. Fitz gets a 10-second for speeding in the pits. But Yari can't keep that position over FaZe Monkey unless he gets a superb drive out of turn 3. And he gets the move, and it will stick. And he will have DRS to help him. MH clears Jack Newcastle, but Jack has been given the DRS. Can't do anything against Gaffo, but maybe they're both going to go for the move on MH here. Down the inside goes one, down the inside goes the second, opposing wing damage. Not ideal here, but Jack gets past MH, but there's contact. And MH and Jack are on the wall, and there's wing damage for Yari! I think Blueford gets put into the wall as well there, but Yari gets wing damage off the back of Jack, who just doesn't ghost in time for him. That's a front left end plate gone, and that is really bad around this track. You're going to lose a lot of time where it needs to. Hotshot Hippo gets a 10-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flag. We'll see if that gets referred to the stewards later on today. But Jack Newcastle after being P2 is in P13 on that later. Oh, it's more kick depression Hotshot Hippos. I'm not sure if Hotshot Hippos like actually being very clean this race. But to be fair, Yari just needs to get past Hotshot Hippo, fuck him off into a wall, and just drive away. As Hotshot's trying to dive up the inside, he had no right to that corner, at least in my view. From what I could see, Will Gomez picks up a 3-second time penalty, and an Aston's gone for a spin. That is Will Gomez backwards once again in this race. But you know what, to be fair, Will Gomez and Jack have survived so far this race. Can't say that about John's boy and Smurf Illegal, huh? Good job. But Yari actually in a great position to at least pick up a podium, which is a phenomenal recovery drive from where he was. This is probably more than he could have asked for, especially now that he's got wing damage. He just needs to try and take it easy and bring his car home. But obviously threats will be constantly looming from behind. A lot of the low speed here may just give him a little helping hand, that mechanical grip from the tyre. As Fitz and Will Gomez are both in the pits, I think Fitz has to serve a drive-through? No, I think he served both of them. Good job for you. But now, critically for Alpine, Gary has pulled a second. Hotshot Hippo, but this is a very aero-dependent part of the circuit. But Hotshot seems to be struggling a lot harder with his tyres, and MH is going to sense some vulnerability now, taps the back of Hotshot Hippo, who's really struggling at a strong qualifying, and he just can't do anything now in the race. MH is going to try and look around the outside, can't make anything happen. Bluefoot trying to look as he gets hit into the back of Hotshot's gone round, and Bluefoot's into the side of him. Bluefoot uses more of his wing. That is more calamities behind. And more crucially, that puts Is That Me in the points as Bluefoot retires on track. That's not going to cause a safety car. It's too late in the race, and we've probably already served all of our safety car periods at this point. Jack Newcastle has no front wing, because why not? But Yari now P3 and actually closing a little bit to Gaffo in this first sector. Does anyone ahead of him have wing damage? If so, can it be worse than they already have? No, neither of them do. But right now, on wing damage, Yari doing a phenomenal job in P3, and MH is looking to take home a very confident P4 here. I think what Yari needs is penalties for the guys in front, just major penalties. I'm not sure what's going to happen post-race. I think I'm going to be pretty pissed off, because I'm probably going to have about 50 stewards reviews to go through after this. But what a race it has been for the content. I mean, ST is going to be the happiest man in Europe as it stands. Andy gets past Billy Whiz up into P6. His race is going very well as well, you know. Comes back into sub for McLaren. Missed last week because there was no reserve seat available for him, or he wasn't available. I forget which one it was. But he's back now, trying to hold everything together, and McLaren will walk out of this with a decent haul of points. Depends what MH can pull from Metal. One of the only penalty-free guys on the field. But more critically, what I didn't expect was this race to maybe get decided on penalties, and it might be, because Gaffo is just eating away at that gap, and he doesn't have a penalty. You know, Gaffo has been very good at certain races this season, even if he doesn't have that ultimate pace to win, at being there just enough to win because of a penalty. And with Lucas Spurs out of the race, scoring 0 points, it's time for him. Jack Newcastle, I'm sure, throws himself into the wall there. I'm going to lose it later on tonight, because I'm probably going to have 50 tickets that people are pinging me in because they want me to review their instance as soon as I can. Not happening, chaps. I'm going to reboot and go and play Rocket League, probably. Yes, ST. yes way that happened. SD has said no way Gaffo went from doing the Grosjean to winning the race, but he is doing it. It's 2.5 seconds to gap, and Max has a 3 second, and unless he can appeal that, which I need to remember to get race director for once in my life because I've forgotten that. And okay, Will Gomez with the honorary 27 seconds behind his teammate, who's already majorly far back, with the fastest lap of the race of 32.7. Good job, Will Gomez. And Max is starting to drop back. No ghosting apparently from Callum Evers. Jack Newcastle, how have I gone from P2 to DNF in about 2 laps? Jack, you're shit, mate. That's why. You get good. But you know what, honestly, it's been a phenomenal race. It was a phenomenal race from you, Jack. But Max is now starting this final lap. And I just can't say what a race this has been. There's no words to describe it. You know, the performance from any of these drivers just to survive on this track. You know, I know it's been dry, but look at the 7 DNF, the 8 DNFs at the bottom. That shows that obviously one person had an issue, but the rest of them are all DNFs. So God knows. Bluefoot saying he spins and doesn't ghost, so I hit him and spin and I ghost immediately. Make it make sense. That's called EA for you, Callum. I'm pretty sure that's you, Bluefoot. But yeah, that's called EA for you. Now, a few people have had their races fucked over, Yari included, by the lack of ghosting. But Yari actually majorly closing in on this final lap to Gaffo. And I think the 2 guys ahead of him might just have tyres that are starting to give way. But maybe not on track. Max will be the winner, but he's certainly been one of the best to survive this race. He's found the strategy to hold it all together, as has really this top 3. Just driven incredibly clean races. They've done so well to fight their way through all of the issues thrown their way. Traffic, dirtier drivers, drivers with damaged wings, just a lot. But Max, he might not win after everything, but on track, he wins round 9. It's going to be Gaffo who wins overall. Max down to 2nd. Yari in 3rd. MH comes home for P4. Beautiful drive from him. P5 for Andy, as FaZe Monkey has a massive penalty. It's P6 for Metal Medal. 7th for FaZe Monkey. 8th for Billy Wiz. 9th for Is That Me. It will be 10th for Hotshot Hippo, scoring a sole point in what has been a pretty depressing affair after qualifying for the Aston Martin team. And then the only guy left on the track is going to be Will Gomez. Hotshot Hippo finishes the race. Will Gomez on that soft tyre, coming away with Aston's only real accolade from this race, holding the fastest lap despite that being meaningless. But everything on track was against a lot of these guys. But somehow people have made it work. It is Gaffo overall winning from Max, Gary, MH and Andy. And we'll see if we can get you any interviews in a moment's time. And we're back live. We're here with the race winner, RB Gaffo, after what was a very chaotic race for him. So just first and foremost, how does it feel to get the second win of the season, probably back on top of the standings?
What? Second win of the season? Hold on a second.
Well, you said something about a second win before. It might be more than second.
Sorry, it's my second win. No, that's my fourth win. Yeah, it's my second. I was adding 2 more to my total tally of 14 wins. Yeah, that was very satisfying because that was the most. I would say it was the most stressful race of my life. Like, especially from around the first pit stop onwards, it was just absolute carnage. And then, of course, there was the incident that I'm sure was caught on stream. Fucking could have been absolute disaster for me, but I don't know how I managed to claw back in the last 10 laps. And I don't want to speak too soon, but if I don't go on and win the championship after that, then I'll never win a championship, because that is just a race that I really needed, especially after the last 2 races not finishing at all. Yeah, I really needed that.
Yeah, I mean, with qualifying, you came in, you didn't look very strong towards the start of qualifying, but really pulled it back towards the end. Was it just a confidence thing in the setup, or was it just...
I think it was more confidence in the track. I didn't really actually get much practice in over this. So, like, I think I've only set a couple laps there, because I've just been very busy with college over this weekend, and my wheel's only been at my college accommodation rather than at home, so I haven't had any time to practice. So, got in today, got a few laps in, just got a safe enough banker on the board, pushed for the second lap, and then the third lap could have been even better, because I think I was about 3/10 down after midway through the lap, and clawed it all back in the final sector, just pushing the car to the limit. So I think there was a few positions there to be gained, but look, sure, it worked out in the end, as I always say.
Yeah, I mean, you were up there at the start of the race. I'm sure you saw at the start Yari was pulling away, I think. What was that in your head? Did you think that the race was just over at that point, or did you believe that it could come back?
No, I wouldn't say it was necessarily over. I had a slight engineer. I wouldn't say he was a very useful engineer. He was kind of playing FIFA at the time, but I was asking what the tyre compounds were and how long could a hard go. So just before, I don't know who it was, the cost for a safety car, but just before that came out, I was thinking of a very early pit stop onto the hards to get an undercut and try and go to the end. And in the end, the safety car came out and Yari made a bad judgment call going onto the mediums, which I don't think he struggled. I don't know if it was tyre warm up or just wear very quickly, but I was able to get by him before the next. He didn't box at all, did he not?
He didn't box for it, no.
Oh, that was it then. Oh, right. I swear to God, right. Well, that was a very stupid call then, to not box at all. I thought he just went onto another medium. So yeah, it was simple enough to get by. Is that me? And Phase Monkey was difficult enough. I had to work a bit for it. And then I think Yari's tyres were just completely gone by the time I got by him. And I think from then on in, I was hoping to just sail off into the distance. And even after that safety car came out, I was hoping to sail off into the distance, because MH was on a medium that wasn't going to get to the end. And so was another driver, I think it was Johnsy Boy, was also on a medium that I knew wasn't going to go 16 laps, and if it wasn't going to hold up as quick as the hards. So I knew I'd be able to get ahead, and it would only be Max and maybe Bluefoot that I'd have to worry about, but all sorts of carnage erupted after that, especially after the incident where I was pretty much taken out. So yeah, it's good to get back on the top step after a bad run of form, and definitely knew that I could do it today around that track.
I mean, obviously, you've had 2 races now prior to this that you were out of the points. Other than that, you've had a pretty good scoring streak this season. Obviously, 2 rounds to go now. You've got Mexico and then Vegas. Are those tracks that you think will suit you and could see you just bring the championship home, or is it just anything?
Yeah, both of them. Maybe not so Vegas, but Mexico definitely. And I'm debating. There's a work Christmas party that apparently is on that day, but I don't know. It was supposed to be like in a really good location, and they've had to changing it to a shit location, and I'm actually just consider not going anymore, and just this will be my first ever time to win a championship in something, even if it's FA2. And I'd love to just get it over the line, especially in Mexico. Especially in Mexico, it's the place where I got my first ever league racing victory. So I'd love to do it there. And I think what is the gap now?
It'll be very tight to you and Max. It'll be 9 points back to Max as your closest contender,
Right.
since Lucas Spurs was out last one.
So
he'll need to
I
finish
do.
P6 or lower with you winning the championship.
Yeah.
Wrapped, and there'll be some sort of maths around Lucas Spurs who'll be 18 points behind you after this race.
Yeah.
So you'll have to win next race for the championship to be
I think
secure.
I think I'm going to be there. I'm going to try my very best because that's what I want. And look, Shane, I don't know. Now, this wasn't Crashgate or anything like that, but fucking his bad driving came to rescue me there with a safety car after that incident. So, but if you look at it in hindsight, it's fucking terrible for Ferrari, because I think Racing Bulls brought home some good points there today, and we didn't. So we're gonna have to reflect on that and try and improve going into Mexico and bring home both championships. Fingers crossed.
Just the last question from Jack in the stream chat: are you recording from a microwave? It's the only question he
At the moment, is that for what? As in my microphone?
Yeah.
Not very good at the moment. I think it could be my Wi-Fi. I'm obviously in my college accommodation, so it's not very good at the moment. But yeah, I think I might need an improvement in the mic as well. I've had this mic for 8 years now, so I think I'm due a new headset soon. But yeah, no bother, Jack. Maybe you should focus on your racing than focusing on seeing if you can hear me or not.
All right. Well, thank you for coming for an interview, Gaffer. And next up,
No bother at all. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, Gaffer. We will be next on the interview block is Yari Spams R2. We'll be going right into it because we've already been here for about 10 minutes speaking to Gaffer. So welcome in, Yari. Congratulations on a podium today. Looked like a difficult race out there for you. So obviously you dominated the first stint and then it kind of fell away. So just what happened there for you?
I just messed up the strategy. I should have went in and I didn't.
Yeah, take a look at lap 7 on the stream when you can, Yari. But it was a good recovery after that anyway. You know, you were down in P12 at one point, you were having a bit of a rough time, but P3 in the end, even with that bit of wing damage at the end, off the back of a non-ghosted Bluefoot, I mean, was it pretty easy for you to come back, or was it quite a big struggle?
I believed I could come back because of the amount of safety cars there were in the end. But I was kind of scared. I fucked up everything.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, as you seem to be on a much better run of form recently, just in general, because obviously it's not been your season entirely. It's your second podium of the season, where you probably could have had 3 or 4 so far, and maybe even a win. But
should have been today.
Your form has improved since the start of the season, so are you looking to maybe improve it coming into Mexico and then Vegas as the finale?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Vegas. Yeah, I don't know. Mexico is kind of boring to me, so let's just see how it goes.
Right, and obviously, should talk about qualifying. So obviously, for the entire session, you were leading the pack just until the end, and you just somehow had that magical pace over everyone else. What happened in your final lap to just not be able to find that improvement?
I invalidated my lap. Where was it? I don't remember. I think I invalidated in sector 3, and then ended up not being fast enough to start the last lap. So.
Yeah, so, I mean, your teammate, obviously, it was a 1-2, and you just took the lead immediately in that first stint.
Yeah.
The pace looked good from you for the race, but it's been the same story, Ari. Strategy woes costing you races.
I know.
always something you could improve on.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming up, Yari. And
Nothing, man.
thank you, everyone, for coming to watch the stream. Sorry the mic was cooked for half the stream. I forgot to check my audio inputs. But we will be back next week for Mexico in Tier 2. And Gaffo, and probably me as well, will be here on Wednesday for Tier 1. If it does go ahead, we're currently just waiting on numbers. So thanks for all coming. See you definitely next week.